A man tried to hijack our school bus, and 20 teenagers destroyed his self-esteem before destroying everything else. The guy climbed on at a stoplight with a knife in his hand, and the first thing he heard was a slow clap from the back row. He screamed at our driver to keep going and not stop for anyone. A kid named Dakota leaned forward. "Nice ski mask. Did you cut the holes out all by yourself, or did your mommy help you?" The whole bus laughed, and he waved the knife around. "Shut up and no one gets hurt," someone yelled. "Your hand is shaking so hard I can't tell if that's a threat or a dance move." He stepped toward the kid who said it, and 20 voices started talking at once. "Oh, he's walking now. Everybody watch out. Those shoes are fugly. No wonder he needs to rob us." He spun around trying to find who said what, but insults were coming from every direction. A girl in the third row said, "Did you practice your scary voice in the mirror this morning? You should have." His voice cracked when he yelled back at her, and the bus lost it because nothing is funnier to troubled kids than watching an adult fall apart while pretending they're still in control. He launched into some speech about how he was in charge now, and a kid said, "Bro seriously hijacked a bus with no plan, no getaway car, and a Walmart knife. This is the saddest crime I've ever seen." He kept trying to finish his threats, but we wouldn't let him complete a single sentence. A kid yelled, "Are you robbing us for money? All I have is an EBT card." Another one said, "My PS5 got repossessed last week, so if you're looking for valuables, you're on the wrong bus." He pointed his knife at Mrs. Worley and told her to drive faster, and the whole bus went dead silent in a way that was scarier than all the noise. Dakota stood up and said, "You can threaten us all you want, but if you point that thing at Mrs. Worley again, we're gonna have a real different conversation." The guy laughed nervously and asked what a bunch of kids were going to do about it. A girl said, "We're on the bus to the school for troubled teens. Half of us are here for assault and the other half won't say why." He looked at Mrs. Worley and she shrugged. "Honey, I've driven these kids for 3 years, and I've watched them make grown men cry over smaller offenses than pointing a knife at me." He lowered the knife real quick after that. Somebody said, "Smart choice, she brings us donuts on Fridays. We protect what matters." He kept spinning around and trying to regain control, and a kid said, "You look like a broken sprinkler, just going back and forth accomplishing nothing." A boy named Josh looked right at him and said, "You're not scary, man. You're just broken sad. You probably got evicted last month and you thought this would fix it, but it won't." Nobody laughed because it landed too close to true. The guy's face twisted ugly, and he shoved toward Josh with the knife raised. Mrs. Worley pulled over, stood up from the driver's seat, and stepped between them. "That's enough now," she said. He grabbed her arm and shoved her into the dashboard, and for half a second the bus was completely silent. Then Dakota came over the seats like something feral, and 3 other kids were right behind him. The guy didn't even have time to turn around before someone hit him in the back of the knees and he went down. The knife skittered under the seats and kids were on top of him before he could reach for it. Someone had him in a headlock while someone else pinned his arms. A girl sat on his legs and went through his pockets just to add insult to injury. Mrs. Worley pulled herself up and told everyone to settle down, but she didn't tell them to let him go. She pressed the emergency button and said into the radio that she needed police at her location and to tell them there was no rush because the situation was handled. The guy was crying now and asking us to get off him because he couldn't breathe. Dakota leaned close to his face and said, "You should have thought about that before you touched Mrs. Worley." When the cops arrived, they found him tied up with shoelaces and there was snot running down his face.